What is happening, all my fellow Shinobi Striker? And today's the day that we go over game improvements, part 2, that I would like to see in the game. So as I briefly mentioned before in part 1, there were, a few ideas that I had that I thought that would be great for the game, and part 1 was mainly based upon the gameplay improvement and stability of the game, how it actually features as a game and functions as a game. Part 2 is going to be in diving deep in the ideas that I have and some ideas I've read in the community that I've kind of compiled into one list. So in just this list, we're just going to go over VR mentors and my way of them revamping the VR mentors and also allowing more customization for our characters. So here is my plan. So as of right now, if you were to max out Sasuke Uchiha and complete 100%, he would have 5 gold stars. I suggest adding in another tier that would be 5 platinum stars, right? So and make it a grind, right? We want to give the people who've been playing something fresh to grind and something fresh to do, and we want to give new players just another longer experience to keep them in the game, because the more people you keep in the game, the more fun you'll have, the more people you'll run into. So here's my suggestion for just the character of Sasuke. So now we've talked about doing 5 platinum stars or ninja stars. So let's say the middle one, number 3, we add the Sharingan. Well, Kakashi has the Sharingan, but that's not the Sharingan I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is adding the ability for your creative character to quote-unquote equip, or you go and it's a pupil set and add in the Sharingan there, so now your character is constantly walking around with the Sharingan. And we can do the same thing with Itachi, Pain, adult Sasuke, anybody who has an eye jutsu of sorts where they can turn it on and turn it off. Kakashi, you can have one eye. Hinata, you can have the Byakugan. And this would all be just for something for a character customization. That's all this would fill, is for character customizations. So now your Uchiha clan or your Uchiha people who are fans of the anime of the Uchiha, they can walk around with the Sharingan on the whole time. They can have red eyes, because a lot of people try to do it anyway. They try to do red eyes. I know my character, that's a quote-unquote Hyuga, has the white eyes with no pupil, as closest to a Byakugan I can get. So adding in the ability to do a Sharingan, I think would be very, very, very easy. All they have to do is just add in another customization item, which they do constantly, and it would be a pupil, and it would be so small that only when you zoom in to the character customization screen would you really even notice it anyway. But you can do that with Madara with his, EMS Sharingan, and Sasuke's, and we can do the same thing with all the Mangekyo Sharingans out there. So that's one of the things I think that would be great for them to add in. Would be some more character customizations, such like the Sharingans and stuff like that. Number 2 thing that I would love to see them add also goes from the VRs that you obtain from the VRs that would directly affect the character customization, would be fighting styles. So if you love yourself some Naruto, or you love yourself the way the new Hokage Naruto fights, you grind him, you get him to 5 stars, you unlock his fighting style, and bada bing bada boom, there you go. Same thing with the Uchiha or Hyuga. If you do the same thing with Hinata, now all of a sudden the people who run out there with the Hyuga clans titles on, now they can have the ability to actually fight like a Hyuga. Of course, Hinata is a support character, so I'm sure if they, that would get tied to only support, but it would still be a good idea, or a great idea, I should say, and I do know people have been asking for fighting styles. People I've talked to said, man, I wish I could fight like Might Guy, the way his combo set is, the way Sasuke's combo set is, stuff like that. So I think, and I know by adding weapons, they try to get around it a little bit, but I think a fighting style just period would be more than welcomed. Also, on the same front of the VR Masters, you used to be able to, when you would grind a certain VR Master up to a certain level, he or she would unlock another VR mentor or master. And I think for somebody like Itachi, giving you the ability to unlock somebody like Shisui would be fantastic. Instead of, having it behind a DLC wall, and you could still tie it in. You could still tie it in as a quote-unquote DLC, or in the PC realm, it would be an expansion of the game, where the game you're expanding on top of the game, and now you give Itachi the ability to unlock Shisui for the person who paid for it, so I pay for it. Now I get that ability to unlock Shisui, I get a new mentor, and so on and so forth. Now, do I personally want Shisui in the game? He and other people, it's whatever. But I know a lot of people who do. I for one would love to see Neji in the game. Do I think he should be in the game? Well, his rotation's already there. The Byakugan's already in the game. His clothing and his headband's now in the game. So do we add that on to a late tier for Hinata? Or do we add in somebody like, another member of the Hyuga clan that other people really, really seem to love, and maybe they're useful, maybe they're not. Those are all different things. But I think adding a new way for us to get more character customization is what all this one would be focused around. That's what all this video is focused around. At giving us the ability for Sharingans, giving us the ability to fight like our mentors. So let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe. Part 3, we're going to be going over proposed new maps in the game. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And thanks you guys all for hanging around and sticking with me. And we'll catch you next time.